Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a platform which has the potential to convey any sort of information, provide you with any sort of data, is entertaining and most importantly is free. Yeah, it's free. So why delay? Let's get into it. So, for those of you who don't know what podcasts are, it is basically an audio content series. It can be anything, a discussion, an interview, a summary or review of a book or a movie, anything. Or sometimes it's just literally a piece of information in audio format. And the best part is that you can listen to it anywhere, anytime, and you do not require to give a specific time for it, unlike for reading books or watching movies. And most of this content is freely available on apps like Spotify or iTunes, and you don't have to be a premium member of these apps to listen to these podcasts. And that's the main reason why I'm going to recommend some of the podcasts which you must listen to if you like listening to podcasts. So let's begin with it. On number one, we have a podcast named 10 Ways to Have Better Conversations. It is an episode on podcasts by TED Talks Daily, and in this podcast, the speaker, Celeste Headley, who has worked as a radio host for decades, she gives 10 ways to qualitatively improve your conversations with others. She highlights the mistakes we make and she gives the remedies to avoid those mistakes, and it's really worth listening. On number two, we have two episodes from a podcast, Historical Figures. As the name suggests, this podcast focuses on historical legendary personalities who have changed the world in some way or the other. So the speciality of the podcast is that it covers all the people from all the fields and all the backgrounds. Like there are episodes for Abraham Lincoln, Princess Diana, Margaret Thatcher, Bobby Fischer, and Marilyn Monroe, and many more. But my personal favorites are Nikola Tesla and Marie Curie. This podcast is something which focuses on the lesser known parts of the lives of these people who have contributed to the world, and that it's really interesting to know about these people. So if you are an information freak, you must go and listen to this podcast right away. Moving on to number three, we have an episode from the podcast The Mindset Mentor by Rob Dial. The name of the episode is 9 Habits of Successful People. In this episode, he gives you some habits which you must follow in order to be successful. Now, I won't say that you will be successful for guaranteed by only following these habits, but they are really practical habits. So, if you are a person who likes to have a daily routine or a daily plan for uh, yourself to be productive throughout the day, then you must go and listen to it. So, yeah, 9 Habits of Successful People. On number four, we have an episode from the podcast Simple Ken, hosted by Kenny Sebastian. This episode features Akash Gupta, and the name of the episode is Self Doubt. Now, I really don't think there is a further need to describe this podcast or say anything else about this podcast after saying these two names, Kenny Sebastian and Akash Gupta. You can really imagine how funny, entertaining, and hilarious this episode will be. But for those who don't know, Kenny Sebastian and Akash Gupta are two really great comedians, and if you don't know about them, you check it out on YouTube. They're really funny and hilarious. So if you're having a bad day, you can always listen to this podcast. So yes, Self Doubt featuring Akash Gupta. And lastly, on number five, we have The Straight Shooter Recruiter by Emily Durham. This podcast is really, really important for students in their final year or pre-final year of the degree, or the students who have graduated and who are looking for job interviews, internships, or anybody who is looking for interviews and internships or jobs, this podcast has anything and everything you'll need for it. All the tips, or all the do's and don'ts, all the uh, things you should know and you should practice while undergoing this process of internships and interviews. It's all you must know. So please go and listen to this podcast if you are undergoing through some undergoing through sorry if you're going through some process of internship interviews or job interviews or anything of that sort, because it's really 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 important. So that's all for this video. I hope you like this and you'll go and listen to these podcasts. Do suggest some of your favorite podcasts to me and let me know if you like these podcasts. And yeah, that's all. I've put the links of all the podcasts in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed it. So see you again. Bye bye.